Everything that you see around you right now, every building, every car, every invention, every business started as a thought in somebody's mind. That phone you are holding started as an idea. That is the power of thought. And if somebody else's thoughts could create all of this, imagine what your thoughts could create if you actually believed in them. Your brain processes somewhere around 70,000 thoughts every single day. That is 70,000 opportunities to either build yourself up or tear yourself down. Most people do not even realize that they are thinking themselves into failure. They are not aware of the negative loop that plays in their head from the moment they wake up until they go to sleep. But once you become conscious of your thoughts, you can start to control them. Think about this for a second. Every invention that has ever changed the world started as an invisible idea in someone's head. Somebody thought about an airplane before there were airplanes. Somebody dreamed about smartphones before technology even existed to create them. The thought came first. The physical reality came second. That is how powerful the mind is. It creates the blueprint for everything. Now here is where it gets personal. Your life right now is a direct reflection of the thoughts you have been thinking. If your life is chaotic, check your thoughts. If your relationships are broken, check your thoughts. If your finances are a mess, check your thoughts. I am not saying external circumstances do not exist. I am saying your internal world shapes how you respond to those circumstances. The beautiful thing about your mind is that it is yours. Nobody else can control it unless you permit them. You get to decide what stays and what goes. You get to decide which thoughts you feed and which ones you starve. That is power that no one can take away from you. No matter what situation you find yourself in, your mind remains your territory. Some of you have never been taught how to use your mind properly. You went to school and they taught you math, science, and history, but nobody sat you down and explained the power of your thinking. Nobody told you that your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your destiny. The chain reaction starts in your head. I want you to start treating your mind like the most valuable asset you own, because it is. Protect it from negativity. Guard it from toxic information. Fill it with ideas, possibilities, and visions of what you want to create. When you understand that your mind is the starting point for everything, you will stop being careless with what you allow into it. If you wake up every morning and the first thing you tell yourself is that you are not good enough, that you do not have what it takes, that people like you do not make it, then guess what? You have already lost the day before your feet hit the floor. Your mind believes whatever you tell it. So if you keep feeding it garbage, do not be surprised when your life looks like a landfill. Self-image is everything. The way you see yourself determines how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you interact with others, and what opportunities you pursue. If you see yourself as small, you will play small. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will accept things that are beneath you. Your internal self portrait dictates your external experiences. Here is what you need to understand. The thoughts you think about yourself are not always true. Many of them were planted by other people. Maybe a parent told you that you would never amount to anything. Maybe a teacher made you feel stupid. Maybe an ex made you feel unlovable. Those voices are still playing in your head, but they do not belong there. They were lies then, and they are lies now. You have to become intentional about rewriting the narrative in your mind. Every negative thought about yourself needs to be challenged and replaced. When that voice says you are not smart enough, you counter it with evidence of your intelligence. When it says you are not attractive enough, you remind yourself of your unique value. This is not about being arrogant. It is about being accurate. The world will treat you the way you treat yourself. If you walk into a room believing you are inferior, people will sense it. If you walk into a room believing you belong there, people will sense that too. Your energy precedes you. Your self-belief announces your arrival before you even open your mouth. That is why you cannot afford to carry a defeated image of yourself. Start today by identifying 3 things you believe about yourself that are holding you back. Write them down and then write the opposite truth next to each one. Read those truths every morning until they become your new reality. Your mind will accept whatever you consistently tell it. So tell it something good. Nobody is going to believe in your dream more than you. Nobody is going to push for your success harder than you. You cannot wait for somebody to come along and validate you. You have to wake up every single day and look in that mirror and say, I am capable, I am worthy, I am going to make it happen. And you have to say it until you believe it. I wasted years of my life waiting for someone to recognize my potential. I wanted somebody to see something in me and give me a chance. But you know what I learned? Most people are too focused on their own lives to worry about championing yours. That is not being negative. That is just being real. People have their own problems, their own dreams, their own struggles. You cannot depend on them to fuel your fire. When you become your own biggest supporter, you stop needing external validation. You stop needing everyone to approve of your choices. You stop waiting for applause before you take action. You move forward because you believe in yourself, not because others are cheering. That kind of internal motivation is unstoppable. Think about it like this. If you were your own best friend, how would you talk to yourself? Would you criticize yourself constantly? Would you point out every flaw? Would you remind yourself of every failure? No. You would encourage yourself. You would build yourself up. You would celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Start being a better friend to yourself. The voices of doubt will always be there. There will always be people who question your vision. There will always be circumstances that make you second guess your path. But when you have built a strong foundation of self-support, those external doubts cannot shake you. You have an internal anchor that keeps you steady through the storms. I want you to develop daily rituals of self-encouragement. Talk to yourself in the morning. Speak to yourself with kindness and strength. Remind yourself of what you have overcome. Acknowledge your growth. Honor your effort. These are not silly exercises. This is mental conditioning for success. The most successful people in the world have mastered the art of self-belief. They did not wait for permission or approval. They gave it to themselves. They decided they were enough, that their ideas mattered, that their dreams were valid. You have to make that same decision for yourself because no one else is going to do it for you. I know some of you are sitting here tonight and you have been through things that nobody knows about. You have scars that you hide from the world. You have been hurt, you have been betrayed, and you have made mistakes that you are ashamed of. But listen to me. Your past is not a life sentence. It is a lesson. Learn from it and let it go. You cannot drive forward if you are always looking in the rearview mirror. Your past does not define you unless you let it. I do not care what happened to you 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or even last month. That was then. This is now. Every single day, you wake up, you have the opportunity to start fresh. The sun does not hold yesterday against you. It rises again and gives you another chance. Take it. Some of you are carrying pain from childhood that is still affecting your decisions as adults. You are still operating from wounds that happened decades ago. You are still reacting to people who are no longer even in your life. That pain has become comfortable because you have lived with it so long. But comfortable does not mean healthy. Letting go of the past is not about pretending it did not happen. It is about refusing to let it control your present. You can acknowledge what you have been through without allowing it to dictate where you are going. Your history is part of your story, but it is not the whole story. There are chapters yet to be written, and they can be completely different. I hear people all the time say things like, well, this is just how I am because of what happened to me. That is a cop-out. That is giving your past permission to hold your future hostage. Yes, your experiences shaped you, but you have the power to reshape yourself. You are not a finished product. You are a work in progress. Forgiveness is often the key that unlocks the chains of the past. And I am not just talking about forgiving others. I am talking about forgiving yourself. You have been beating yourself up for mistakes that you have already paid the price for. You have been carrying guilt and shame that serve no purpose anymore. It is time to forgive yourself and move on. The future is calling you forward, but you cannot answer if you are stuck in yesterday. Make a decision right now that your past will no longer be an excuse. It will be fuel. Everything you have been through has given you strength, wisdom, and perspective. Use it. Let your pain become your power and your testimony become your message. Fear will tell you that you are going to fail. Fear will tell you that people will laugh at you. Fear will tell you that you are too old, too young, too broke, too uneducated. But fear is not trying to protect you. Fear is trying to paralyze you. Every successful person you admire has felt fear. The difference is that they did not let it stop them. They felt the fear and they moved anyway. Let me tell you something about fear that most people do not understand. Fear is not real. Now, danger is real. If a lion is chasing you, that is danger, and you should run. But most of the fear you experience daily is completely fabricated by your mind. It is your imagination running wild with worst-case scenarios that will probably never happen. Fear of failure is one of the biggest dream killers in existence. People do not even try because they are terrified of not succeeding. But here is the irony. If you do not try, you have already failed. At least if you try and fall short, you gain experience, knowledge, and the satisfaction of knowing you dared to go for it. Fear of what other people think is another one that holds people back. You are so worried about being judged that you stay invisible. You do not share your ideas. You do not pursue your passions. You do not live authentically. But here's the reality. People are not thinking about you as much as you think they are. They are too busy worrying about themselves. I have done things in my life that terrified me. Every single major move I have made came with a side of fear. But I learned to feel the fear and do it anyway. I learned to take action in the presence of fear rather than waiting for it to disappear. Because guess what? It never completely disappears. You just get better at ignoring it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision that something else is more important than fear. Your dream should be more important than your fear. Your family should be more important than your fear. Your purpose should be more important than your fear. When you connect to something bigger than yourself, fear loses its grip. Start taking small steps toward things that scare you. Every time you face a fear and survive, you weaken its power over you. You build confidence through action. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. And before you know it, things that used to paralyze you become stepping stones on your path to success. Growth does not happen in your comfort zone. I repeat, growth does not happen in your comfort zone. If you want something you have never had, you have to do something you have never done. That means having conversations that scare you, taking risks that make you nervous, putting yourself in rooms where you feel like you do not belong. That discomfort is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that you are stretching. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing grows there. It is warm, it is safe, it is familiar. But it is also a prison if you stay there too long. You were not designed to stay comfortable. You were designed to grow, to expand, to evolve. And that process requires friction. I have watched people sabotage their own success because they got uncomfortable and retreated. They were right on the edge of a breakthrough, but the unfamiliar territory scared them. So they went back to what they knew, back to the same job, back to the same relationship, back to the same habits, and nothing changed. Think about when you learned to ride a bicycle. It was uncomfortable. You fell. You scraped your knees. But you kept getting back on because you wanted to ride. That same principle applies to everything in life. The discomfort is temporary, but the skill, the achievement, the growth is permanent. You have to embrace discomfort as a sign that you are on the right track. When something feels hard, when you feel stretched, when you are unsure if you can handle it, that means you are expanding your capacity. That is exactly where you need to be. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Some of the greatest opportunities in my life came from situations where I felt completely out of my depth. I was in rooms where I did not know anyone. I was given responsibilities that felt way beyond my abilities, but I leaned into the discomfort and grew into the opportunity. You will never know what you are capable of until you push past your comfort zone. Start seeking out discomfort on purpose. Volunteer for the challenging project. Introduce yourself to the person who intimidates you. Have the difficult conversation you have been avoiding. Each time you step outside your comfort zone, you expand it. Your new normal becomes what used to scare you. That is how you level up. I need you to hear this clearly. There are people in your life right now who are pulling you backwards. They are dream killers. Every time you share a goal, they tell you why it will not work. Every time you try to rise, they remind you of where you came from. You have to love some people from a distance. Your circle should be pushing you up, not weighing you down. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look around you. Look at the people you talk to every day. Look at the people you take advice from. Are they where you want to be? Are they going where you want to go? If not, you need to seriously evaluate those relationships. I am not saying you have to cut everyone off. Some people in your life are there for a reason, and you love them. But you do need to limit the influence of people who are not helping you grow. You can still love someone without letting them derail your destiny. There is a difference between having someone in your life and having them in your inner circle. Successful people are very protective of their energy. They understand that negativity is contagious. They know that spending time with small-minded people shrinks their thinking. So they intentionally seek out relationships with people who challenge them, inspire them, and hold them accountable. When I look back at every breakthrough in my life, there was someone in my corner pushing me forward. There was a mentor who believed in me. There was a friend who encouraged me. There was a partner who supported my vision. Success is a team sport. You cannot do it alone, and you should not try to. Start seeking out people who are where you want to be. Find mentors who have already achieved what you are pursuing. Join communities of like-minded individuals who are on a similar path. The right relationships will accelerate your growth in ways that going solo never could. Pay attention to how you feel after spending time with certain people. Do you feel energized or drained? Do you feel inspired or discouraged? Do you feel empowered or diminished? Your feelings are a compass pointing you toward the relationships that serve you and away from the ones that do not. Let me tell you something about failure. I have failed more times than I can count. I have been fired. I have been rejected. I have had ideas that crashed and burned. But every single failure taught me something. It taught me what did not work so I could find what does work. Stop being afraid to fail. Be afraid of never trying. The most successful people in history have the longest lists of failures. They just do not talk about them as much. We see the highlight reel, but we do not see the blooper reel. Every business mogul has had businesses that flopped. Every entertainer has had jokes that bombed. Every athlete has lost games they should have won. Failure is universal. Here is what you need to understand about failure. It is feedback, it is data. It is information you can use to improve. When something does not work, you learn something. When you fall short, you gain insight. Failure is not a verdict on your worth. It is a lesson on your path. I used to be terrified of failure. I would not try things because I was scared of what would happen if they did not work out. But then I realized something. Not trying is the biggest failure of all. At least when you try and fail, you get experience. When you do not try at all, you get nothing but regret. Some of my greatest successes came on the heels of my biggest failures. The failure showed me what I was doing wrong. It forced me to go back to the drawing board. It humbled me enough to learn and grow. Without those failures, I never would have found the right approach that eventually worked. You have to change your relationship with failure. Stop treating it like an enemy and start treating it like a teacher. Ask yourself what this failure is trying to show you. Ask yourself what you can learn from this experience. Ask yourself how you can use this